Welcome back to Indianapolis 500 Evolution. After a brutal Trenton 100 in which I scored 0 points crashing out of the race, this is what the point standings look like after one race. Al Unser leads the points after taking a dominant victory from second place on the grid. But points don't really matter when we've got the Indianapolis 500 coming up, the 50th running of the Indianapolis 500. But first, to make the race, you must qualify, and we are going to do that right now, here on Indy 500 Month.
Four laps, 10 miles. You have to be super fast and consistent to make the grade at Indianapolis. A great speed from car number 82.
Dan Gurney passes on his first run. George Snyder takes the pole position from Eddie Johnson. Looks like 160 miles an hour.
Car number 8 is
pole speed is going to be well exceeded today. Probably going to be closer to 170
car number 28 is
by the time we get done with it. 42 entrants. So definitely going to be a major bump day, as Rich Cook crashes and Jim Clark passes on his run for the pole at the moment. Larry Dixon gonna wait. Now we're heading up to John Stewart, and John Stewart has quite an Irish accent, or not an Irish accent, a Scottish accent. That will make some people upset. And if you look at his initials, you might say Jackie Stewart. If you said it wrong, yeah, that's Jackie Stewart. Yeah. They couldn't get the licensing. But let's stop talking about licensing because we've got qualifying continuing. Gordon Johncock knocks John Stewart off of the second position. Now we're going to go down. Lots of passing and lots of waved off attempts here.
Car number 37 is next to make a
little bit of a difference between modern qualifying and this qualifying is that you only get 3 attempts to make the field. And if you go over 3 attempts, you're out of the race.
Car number 11
and now Bobby Unser, Uncle Bobby, only goes to 7th. Rob Williams does make the field at 155 miles an hour, though I would think that once you start getting in the 150s, 143 from Al Unser Sr.
Car number 83 has crashed out.
Oh my goodness. That's a speed that may get bumped.
Has crashed out.
That is a speed. What is Al? How did Al Unser take that? Why did he take that speed?
For the race.
Al Unser is going to get bumped from this field, I'm almost positive. Why did he take that speed? Mario Andretti goes to the pole position at 165 miles per hour, so this is just, whoa, this is crazy. Hang on. Why did he take that speed? That was such a bad decision. Oh my gosh, he's 10 miles an hour off of the next slowest car. In 18th spot. Now 19th because Jim McElreath just got into the field.
A fantastic
oh my goodness. And I don't think he can reattempt. I think him taking that speed means that Al Unser is almost certainly going to get bumped from the field. So, here on pole day, we are about to head out to qualify. And the battle is with Mario Andretti, Jim Hurtubise, Bud Tinglestad, Matt Anglis, and Graham Hill. Let's see who's going to take the pole position at the Indy 500. And oh, by the way, I've decided after that Trenton race that the Lotus wasn't cutting it. We are going to go American-made. I went to Dan Gurney and asked him if he could build me an Eagle that would win the Indy 500. Dan said, I can't guarantee you an Indy 500 win because I am also racing in this race in a car of my own design. But sure, I'll sell you an Eagle. So that's what we're going to do. An American-built chassis, a Ford engine, 5-speed gearbox, both from 1965, but I don't think we have a power disadvantage. I think we're actually going to run pretty fast laps. So let's see what this Eagle can do in 4 laps. And by the way, if it's too slow, if I feel it's too slow, I'll just wave the run off and stick a modern motor in it. That could be pretty exciting. I still can't believe Al Sr. took that speed that he took, 143. That's a huge mistake, and I can't even believe. It may be a glitch, but I've never seen an AI car take that slow of a speed. I mean, he's some 20 miles an hour off the pole. 22 miles an hour. 143 to 165 for Mario. I don't get it. I do not understand it. But it's definitely going to make this Indy 500 exciting, as this Eagle is incredibly fast in a straight line, already almost at the top of the rev range there. Little bit of push in the corner, may have to enter a bit later to try to get the grip to go through the corner. Maybe a little too much grip through that corner that time. And we're about to start the warm-up lap again. It's the average of 4 laps here at Indianapolis to make the show. So just being fast on one does not make you a pole position contender. And maybe Al Unser Sr. had an engine blow right as he was coming across the line, and maybe that makes up for the 10-mile-per-hour difference between that and a competitive, even remotely competitive lap, or average. But it doesn't make any sense as we're in the rev limiter coming down the back straight on a qualifying lap. I may wave this off because I think I might want to go in and fix that issue. I don't think we really want to be in the rev limiter. Though we're going to have really good acceleration. We'll see what the warm-up lap here is. We can take a few laps and determine whether or not we really want to wave this off.
His hand is up.
164 on the warm-up. So we'll take lap 1 here and see what we've got. If it's decent, I almost want to be able to accelerate rather than have top speed. Because if I get held up in traffic or something, which is almost certainly going to happen in a 33-car field, and you saw the amount of speed difference between the front and the back of the field, so lapping will be a problem. So you got in the limiter again on the back stretch there. A little bit of counter, or not counter steer, but a little bit of a twitch from the rear in turn 3. Turn 4, just a little bit of a slide there, not too much. Now down the main straightaway, what have we got? Have we got one fast enough for Mario? 164.8, so no, not quite at Mario's pace. But it could average out, so I think we're going to continue with this run. This is one thing in Indy 500 qualifying, you don't want to overthink it. It's better to be in the race than not in the race. And I think that's what I'm going to kind of prioritize here. Because last thing I want to do for you guys watching at home is get bumped because I decided to get cute and try to find pole speed. Car really doesn't handle that well in turn 4. For whatever reason, turn 4 and the Eagle don't really get along too well. So here we go, lap number 2. Speed is faster, 165 miles per hour. So we're closing in on Mario's speed. We can continue to pick up the pace. We might be able to pip him from the pole. Let's see as we head back out onto the back straightaway. If I can get turn 4 right, I bet we can pick up some serious speed. But we'll see. We're getting way up in the rev range once again. Absolutely letting this Ford engine scream. On the throttle through turn 3. A little bit of a lift for turn 4. A little bit better through there. Still leaving quite a bit of room on the exit of the corner. Probably could unwind the wheel a little bit more, but again, we don't want to smack that outside wall. And that was way slower. 163. Whoa, okay. Maybe I should have pushed it a little bit harder. That was a slow lap. Where did that come from? All right, well, we're going to have to try to get this average back up because we might not even be on the front row now, even though Mario had a pretty stout lap, which was kind of well ahead of everybody else. There's still the possibility that Clark and Gurney and the rest of them could go out again and try to knock Mario off the pole and go faster than me or him, and that would be awfully messy. we go through turn 4. Off of turn 4, a lot higher than we did last time, so I took a little bit more road down the main straightaway. What's it gonna be? We'll take the run. 165.5
is next to make a run.
Where did we go?
56 is next to make a run.
We still got cars making
car number 22
attempts, so yeah, we're second. Looked like the third place car was only at 160 miles an hour. So yeah, Mario was a full mile an hour faster than us, so we weren't gonna pass him. And there, Graham Hill waves off his run. So a lot of the big names aren't really going out there and qualifying. So this is going to be the second half of pole day. There's still 2 hours and 34 minutes to go. We're going to have more attempts from more drivers. And I still can't believe that Al Unser took that 143.9.
There is time left today after the run through the draw for another chance at the pole for drivers yet to post a speed. Car number 31.
So Dan Gurney hits the wall. Well, there goes his chance at the pole position.
Car number 19 has
Jim Clark waves off a run. So there goes the 2 attempts. Lloyd Ruby goes to 4th on the grid.
Car number 34
Larry Dixon has a mechanical failure and burns an attempt.
Car number 12 is next.
Chuck Holtz puts it in the field, P8. This could be a... I'll tell you what, with as many cars that are having trouble, big names too, this could be a hell of a bump day because I don't know what's going to happen.
Car number 94 is next to make a
Nell
run.
Kenyon at 25th.
Car number 98 has
And Parnelli Jones puts it in the show on the outside of row 2 provisionally.
A great speed from
AJ Foyt goes in the field at 7th. There's 32 qualifiers right now. So Al Unser's going to get bumped in the next. If there are 2 more cars qualify, Cale Yarborough burns an attempt. Billy Foster puts it in, and we've got a full field. So Al Unser is about to get bumped. And he gets bumped by Graham Hill, who goes to 24th overall. Not a great run from Graham Hill. Jim Clark puts it on the front row. So it's me, Mario, and Jim Clark. Larry Dixon puts it in the field. So we've got bumping already, and we're on pole day. Everybody's very anxious to get in the field. Thomas Otto takes a run at 156, but doesn't get in the show. Cale Yarborough from NASCAR makes it in the show in 15th. And that is the end of qualifying with 2 minutes to go, I believe. I think that's all the attempts. And we have 33 cars in the show, but we do have some cars that have already been bumped. So what's bump day going to be like now? We're about to find out.
The drivers yet to post a speed will have to bump the slowest qualifiers from the grid.
So Thomas Mills on the bubble. Carlos Daltoni is going to try to bump him in. And what does Daltoni do? 156.8. He does make the show. So Daltoni bumps his way into the field.
Car number 92 is on the bubble.
Rich Cook going to try to bump out John Power. He does not. Not fast enough. 0.3 of a mile an hour behind. Dan Gurney still hasn't made the show yet. I think he will. Gurney makes it in at 159 miles an hour. That would have been good enough for the first 3 rows if he'd done it on pole day. Ian Cadman's going to try to knock out Daltoni. Daltoni just got in. Cadman wants in. Cadman will not get in. 2 miles an hour slower than Daltoni's run. And that's the starting grid for the Indianapolis 500. Gurney will run off from the back row. Al Unser, the points leader, gets bumped. Unbelievable. And this is what the lineup looks like. Mario on the pole, me in the middle, Jim Clark on the outside, George Snyder, Lloyd Ruby, Gordon, John Cock, Parnelli Jones, AJ Foyt, Joe Leonard, John Stewart on the inside of row 4. That's Jackie Stewart. In the middle is Don Branson, Chuck Holtz, Jerry Grant, McElreath, Yarborough, Roger Ward, Bobby Unser. I mean, look at this grid. Amazing. Don't know. I think Bobby Grimm's a front-engine car, so that we did have some front-engine cars qualify for the race. But, yeah. So in the next video, it'll be the 1966 50th running of the Indianapolis 500. Can't wait to see you there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe for more Indy 500 month content.